I said, what are you going to do with that gun? You going to shoot Elvis Presley? I said, well, if you're silly enough to think that, I said, probably so.
And that's where it came.
And he said, get out of that car. I said, okay. All right, that was the deal on that. And Elvis waited and waited and waited on me. You know?
Was there ever any competition between the two of you? Did you ever feel that I mean, you're both,
no.
You know, the leaders of a movement, almost a revolution.
We considered ourselves both kings of rock and roll, so to speak. Yeah. I mean, in our own way. He considered himself a #1 artist. I did too. And the honest thing, I'd done what I wanted to do. Elvis, he wanted to do the things I did, but he was scared too, and he tried to do it and hide it. And so I said, Elvis, you know, you ought to be your own man, do what you want to. Don't let these people tell you what to do. Well, Elvis Presley was a fine person, and I miss him very much, and he was one of my dear friends, somebody I could depend on, you know?
Jerry Lee, the icon, the god of rock and roll. Here's an interview of his from my collection that I cannot pinpoint the exact date, but going by his look, it's about 1985, so it's labeled as such. Now here, he is really candid, really open, so we get to see who Jerry Lee is as a person and not just the woo wild man, the killer.
When you talk about, as you saw yourself as you both saw yourself as kings, a question I was wanting to ask you is, when the history of rock and roll is written, where will your place be?
Well, I was the first artist inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I was. 3 months prior to any other artist. And then Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Everly Brothers, James Brown, Ray Charles, whoever. But I was the first one.
You were 15 when you first married. That's a young age to be.
That's right.
Yeah. Why did you marry so young?
Well, my wife, Dorothy, she was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young lady. She was 16. And I don't know, I was a virgin when I got married. She was a virgin, you know? And we didn't know nothing about nothing from nothing, you know? Nobody explained anything to us, you know? And I don't know, I just got it in my mind that we were going to get married because I just had to go to bed with this lady, you know. I never tried this. It had to be a great experience, you know. And for me to do something, I had to do it right. It had to be a marriage. I married all mine, you know. And, wow. And the ladies I found through my life have been great ladies. You know, those that are still existing, you can get them on the phone right now. And if I need help, if I needed something, something was wrong with me, they'd be here in an hour. You know, we're very close.
You know, you're forcing me to ask you this question now, but is sex worth getting married for?
No.
Yeah. No.
Let me think about that. It all goes together, but it has to be right. I mean, sex within itself is not what people apparently a young person that's never had sex. It's not what you really think it's going to be. I mean, I don't know what you're expecting, an avalanche or something. You know? Well, it's not there. And it's something that's love, and it's something that's supposed to be sacred, really, and it's supposed to be handled that way. And people have misused it a lot, I think, or misunderstood it.
Sure. Was it a mistake at all to have married your third wife when she was 13? I mean, in retrospect,
she turned 14 the next day, and I didn't write that, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, now we're looking in retrospect at what happened, and the English went crazy, and I believe you were blacklisted for a while. I mean, I think there was a an overreaction, but it was a reality in your life. What happened then?
Well, it was something that I wanted, and it was something that Myra wanted, and I dated Myra, and me and Jane couldn't make it, so she moved back to Louisiana, and I started noticing Myra, and she was my second cousin. And I had never met Myra before in my life, until I went to Memphis, put my first record out. So I actually, to make a long story short, I went out with Myra one night, and she wasn't a virgin, and I was a long ways from being one at the time. And when we got through, she said, it would be no way you'd ever marry me. She started crying, you know. And I said, well, why not? I would marry you just as I'd marry anybody else. What are you talking about? And she said, well, because I'm not a virgin. You would never marry me, would you? And she turned out to be one of the finest people in the world. We got married, you know? And we had 2 children.
Well, she was 13, but she turned 14 the next day. Nobody ever talks about that. Yeah, like that really matters. I mean, look at her, chewing her gum, chewing on her glasses. Look, she's 12, 13. She's at that stage, all right? Like nobody would notice the age difference even more, right? It's more uneven. Now, if she acted like a woman, but still, come on. Well, they had 2 kids, so I guess everything worked out for the best. I don't know, but look.
Were you the target of an industry blacklist?
Oh, they blackballed me bad. They said I had done the worst thing in the world. They tried to kill me, and I just laughed about it. You know, I spelled my name right. And about 9 or 10 years went by. I couldn't get a record played on the radio. So I was doing a Shakespearean play, Othello, at the Almerson Theater in L.A. And we come out with Another Place, Another Time on Mercury Records. I used in the back door. They called it country music. I called it Jerry Lee Lewis music. And I started playing my records again. And I was back in the limelight again.
Is it also true that John Lennon once kissed your feet?
Yes, he did.
Tell me about that.
Well, we were doing a show in L.A. one night, and John Lennon, that was back in about 1973 or 74, something like that. He came backstage and showed his regards, you know, everything. He was being very nice. I knew John prior to that. And he walked in the dressing room, everybody was sitting around, and he walked up and he just fell down and he kissed my feet. You know, my son, Junior, was sitting by me, and he was about 16, 17 years old at the time. And he said, isn't that John Lennon? I said, shh, cool it, boy, and be quiet. And nobody was saying anything. When John got up and he was being very serious, and he said, I want to thank you, Jerry Lee Lewis, for making it possible for me to be a star.
All right, there he is, Jerry Lee Lewis. Like I said, the god of rock and roll. Forget Elvis. He is rock and roll. He and Chuck Berry, I think, were just better than Elvis, because guess what? They wrote their own songs. You know? They never went to total showbiz route with the fat suits and all that. Excuse me, honey. Woo. But yeah, Jerry Lee made some mistakes in his life, married some women that he probably shouldn't have, but what rock star has not done that? Anyways, I have tons more of these classic rock icons in my collection, so you should like this video and subscribe to my channel, because you never know what I have that I will bring to you. Is it more Jerry Lee? You, yes you, have to stay tuned to find out. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.